Welcome to the But Mostly Disney podcast. I'm Tater, and with me is my co-host
Hello, everybody.
He's in Charleston, in the cradle of golf.
Yes, I think the first golf game was played here in South Carolina, if I remember correctly.
Was it really? Now that I
Yeah.
didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought this week we would talk a little bit because it's getting to be that kind of season, and I'm not really a sports guy, but I do love golf. I love golfing. I love wearing golf stuff. I love watching golf. Though I don't watch much like actual professional golf. I've watched a lot of YouTube golf lately. But I know when I texted Andrew about a topic and he just responded with golf and Disney. Yes, please.
Yes, please. Yeah, you name Disney and golf. That's two of my priorities in life.
And Walt, was not a golfer, but he did recognize how important it was, especially to something like a recreational area. So when he designed the Florida project, he definitely had a big space on the original map carved out for a golf course.
Yes, he did.
Which now we have, I'm going to say 5, right?
I think it is 5.
Including Four Seasons.
Yes, that'd be 5. Yep.
Yep.
And you got
Plus
too many
golf. And then if you count Oak Trail twice for the foot golf. So we'll talk about some different stuff. So if you're not a golfer, don't worry. For one thing, I am Andrew and I are both easily distracted, so this could end up anywhere, frankly.
We could end up at Disney Springs. Who knows?
That's right. Who knows where this is going to go? But that being said, I mean, I would say Disney has, I've grown actually to like Lake Buena Vista. So they have 3 traditional golf courses that have been there for a long time. They have the Palm, the Magnolia, which are over surrounding shades of green, which originally was a golf resort, but over by the Polynesian. And then they have the Lake Buena Vista golf course, which starts at Saratoga Springs, then goes through Old Key West. I guess technically it starts at Old Key West, goes around, goes through the French Quarter of Port Orleans, and then ends up at Saratoga Springs. But the pro shop is at Saratoga Springs. Then you drive around, and I think it's a beautiful course. And I probably should have saved this for later if I took notes and organized. But I think that is my favorite Disney golf course right now.
I have not played that one, but just going by the boats from the Riverside and French Quarter, it's a very links style golf course, which I love. That's what we have a lot around here, so I probably would enjoy playing that course.
Yeah, it winds. It does have some holes that carve out pretty nicely. It's got some challenging holes. I made one of the greatest putts of my life on. They have kind of an island green. This is really cool. And it was one of those putts where you're aiming here and it ends up going almost 180 degrees around. I mean, it was really cool. I made it right in front of my kid too, which made me look like a hero because I'm not a good golfer. Like it's funny. I actually have a lady who watches the channel and her dad, watched. So I on the YouTube channel, I've done a golf video for everything except the Palms or Magnolia, I think actually. So I need to go back and do that one, but he liked it because I didn't sit around bragging about how good of a golfer I was, which he said a lot of golf things he watches, everybody's just talking about their golf score. And I'm really there just to look at the course and have a good time. I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I shoot 95 is a great score, right? Like, I mean, if I break 90, it's a miracle. But I love it. It's the only thing. I've spent a lot of time and a lot of money on golf, and I really don't get much better. But I'm okay with it.
I got hooked playing golf with my dad when I was probably middle school, and I've played ever since. And it's sometimes it's relaxing, sometimes it's just hanging out with friends, and sometimes you're like, why am I out here?
Yeah, I'm not an angry golfer. Like, even if I get a 15 on a hole, I don't care. I'm still having a good time. And don't get me wrong, every now and again I'll have to walk up a hole and just kind of clear my mind because I do like to be good. I want to be good, but I'm just not. And after I had shoulder surgery, I don't hit the ball very far, but I just love it. I mean, it's the only sport. Look, I'll never hit a major league fastball, right? I'm never going to catch a touchdown pass in an NFL game, but I can make the exact same shot as Tiger Woods at least once.
Oh yeah.
So, um, but so they had the Magnolia and Palms, and I didn't realize that Lake Buena Vista course was actually involved when they used to have and so here, Karen, you say that, and yet you might love it, right? And stick
Never know.
around because we have some other options if you're not an actual golfer. And I'm lucky to get my ball into any holes, but I like it. It's something that I do and will do by myself, right? Like I get up almost every morning, and at least when it's warm, and I go to the driving range and I'll hit a bucket of balls, and it's really the only exercise I'm willing to do. But I like playing golf by myself, honestly. I used to get up. We live 5 minutes from a course, and I would be there at 6:15 and walk the front nine and be home by 8, so my wife didn't yell at me. And it was just me and the guys mowing greens, and I loved it. I like playing with people too, don't get me wrong, but it's something I would absolutely do by myself.
Oh yeah. I live in a neighborhood that has a golf course, and I've done that myself. Get up real early and go or wait late in the afternoon, and it's just relaxing, clear your mind, have a good time. I will say, I know we're getting to a little bit, but the foot golf at Oak Trail, playing the regular course for the first time and walking up to these giant cups was like, wait a minute, why can't we play these cups?
Wouldn't that make this game so much
So
better?
much easier. But I've played Magnolia, I've played Oak Trail several times, but I haven't played Palm yet or Lake Buena Vista. That's on the list to do next. But um, anything that's managed and taken care of by the Arnold Palmer management is going to be good, and they
Yeah,
take very good care of these courses.
they do, and I mean, obviously, there's plenty of money going around there. So they have I mean, it gets a lot of play, and it's still in great shape. And you're in Florida where things grow, right? Like where I live, it's the graveyard of the Atlantic. It's also the graveyard of grasses. It's very difficult to grow things here. It's harder to maintain, is what I've been told. I don't maintain a golf course in any way, shape, or form. Um, so the Palm and the Magnolia, I thought it was just Magnolia, but they had a PGA event there until 2012, and that
Mm-hmm.
started in '71 with, do you know who won it?
Jack Nicklaus did.
Yeah, first three. He won. That's exactly right. He won the first three in a row. Tiger won in 2000, no,
No,
97,
his first year, '97. Yeah.
96. He won 96 and 99. David Duval won in 97.
Oh, okay.
I met both those guys when I lived in Jacksonville, which is and Vijay Singh won in 2003. Want to hear a funny Vijay Singh story?
Sure.
All right. So if you don't like golf, don't listen to this. Vijay Singh's a professional golfer. If you're listening to this and you don't know because I've told this story to people who didn't know who Vijay was. So I took lessons when I moved to Jacksonville from this little guy right on A1A in like a shrimp shack. I mean, I never saw the guy hit the ball any further than a net. He never saw him, and he was an incredible instructor. And so I'd bought like a $50 set of clubs because all my friends played. And so I'm just going out with them. And there's a guy standing behind me, and we're talking, and he's like, well, I've got these Titleists, and I can custom fit them for you and do this. I said, well, my friends are getting these clubs made for them, and this guy kind of leans over behind me with an accent, and he's like, I don't want to be rude. He's like, but I know one guy in the world that I would let make me golf clubs, and you can't afford them. I'm like, all right, buddy, thanks. And so he left, and I was like, who is that guy? And he's like, I was Vijay Singh. I'm like, oh, I guess I should listen to him if he's telling me that.
He gets 1,000 golf balls a day. I think we're
Yeah,
listening.
yeah, maybe I should just listen to that guy and do what he says, which was funny. So I met Vijay Singh. I didn't talk to him. I blew him off because I had no idea who he was, but which is life. But um, so it was a big deal, and I was trying to figure out to get some interesting tidbits, but it really Children's Miracle Network was the sponsor, and in 2012 they just didn't want to renew it, and they stopped.
And they
Mm.
had the funny thing is we would get cars, like kid dealership or whatever. We would get cars that they would give to players, and then they would sell them to dealers for used cars. They would come in and they'd have the Disney logo on the side of it for the golf course and have the players' names on the side of the car.
Well, and you know what else was cool? And I looked around this afternoon trying to find one just to see. Originally, Top Flight made the rental clubs, and on the metal on the irons themselves had a swinging Mickey logo, uh, like embossed. Yeah, and so they sold them after. I think they only did it the first year, and they sold them to mostly the cast members for them to go use and have. And I couldn't find them on eBay. Maybe
I was getting
Moose
ready to look.
from last week, would know. But now I'm kind of like, maybe I need to have that in my collection. Right
No
now,
kidding.
they have some other wedges you can buy,
I
like
saw them when I went in December. They had some
it's a
Callaway or Titleist. I can't remember who it was, but it's got the
so
swinging Mickey on it.
they had some cool ones that were that they had, I think, a couple years ago, that looked, and they had like the colored red, blue, yellow, or red, yellow, orange, umbrella on them, plus Mickey's face, so kind of Arnold Palmer. And then these
Oh,
were
cool.
made by a British company that I frankly had never heard of.
Hmm.
And so now they're kind of they're black. They're pretty cool looking.
Yeah, I get emails from the clubhouse, and they'll have like deals because you can call up the clubhouse at Shades of Gray, and you can order anything you want. They'll send you pictures of it to verify that's what you want. You can order it from them; they'll ship it to your house.
Yeah, I've got a pretty awesome 50th anniversary golf towel that I carried on my bag for a little bit, but I took it off and washed it. I think I'm gonna have it framed. I really like the
I've
way
got
it
a
looks.
I've got a goofy putter cover, blade cover, and he's like dropping a ball, whistling, and it's green. I don't want to get it messed up, so I got it like sitting on a box on the shelf over here. But I could
Golf
get in trouble in that store.
Golf Alchemy Limited is
Uh,
who makes these wedges, and they make some pretty fancy stuff. But I'd never heard of them. So they had a PGA Tour, and it ran all three courses, which I did not know. And now they do a family PGA Tour there, where you can do twosomes or foursomes. You have to be blood or marriage related, and it's like a scramble the first day, and then I forget the format, but it's pretty cool. And then you
huh.
can qualify there to go on. I think they have a national thing. We did that. There's a really nice course around here, and we played my younger days, and we showed up a little hungover to a best ball Cadillac tournament, and we didn't realize that it was a big deal, and the actual prize was playing at Pebble Beach, and there was a
Oh,
national thing. So
nice.
there's still a PGA family event that they do there. That's pretty cool.
I think they do some collegiate golf there and some of the U.S. kids golf.
Yeah, they have some. I mean, they still have some stuff, and they're great courses. Palm, and I mean, I played it the first time just because they have a Mickey shaped bunker, and I wanted to get a picture next to
Yeah.
that. I didn't do slides this week. I thought we'd just be all audio. And no one really. I'll post it on Facebook. It means nothing to anyone but me. Yeah, Karen Rory, my son is in school in Jacksonville, and his rowing team. They volunteer at the Players Championship at Sawgrass. So he sent me a picture of he was following Rory and Scheffler around for a while. I think on Thursday. They get tickets all 4 days. So next year, hang around. Maybe we can get out there. And they've just
I'll
been
say
doing a
one
bunch.
thing.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. I was gonna say it's nice when we got to the clubhouse and they had somebody waiting there, and they took the clubs and everything, and they went inside, and there was always somebody at a station asking you if you needed something or answer any questions, and even we was at Oak Trail. They had somebody there that was waiting on you to um, get your tea time and get you paired up, and if you wanted to be by yourself, they say, "Hey, can you wait a few minutes?" It was just very relaxed, and people were very cordial, and it was just It's cool to see all the banners they have up for the past winners, and they have the wall with all the pictures and kind of
I mean, there's some
tournament esque
solid
out
history
there.
there, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of history there.
Because they were all, I think all three courses, maybe all four, were designed by Joe Lee. And then Arnold Palmer came back and redid the Magnolia course at some point in time. And I
They
forget what
just
years.
redid the Magnolia again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some of the holes.
Yeah. Yeah. They made number 14 went from a par 5 to a par 4. I'd like to see the map on 15, which went from a par 3 to a par 5.
Right.
16 is now a dogleg left. This is such a non-Disney. So it's fun to talk about. Don't get me wrong. I do love golf, but and then 17 goes from a 4 to a 3.
I think they call it Grumpy's Gauntlet now or something like that.
Grumpy's Gauntlet is 15 through 17. So that's pretty cool. Like Amen Corner, but
yeah, Disney-fied.
But at home. And then so we're always late for our tee times there. I mean, every single time I've played there, we've been late. So I've never even seen a driving range, except when I teeing off at Oak Trail was the first time I've seen the driving range there. And I think, yeah, they have a nice practice facility. And so now they have an 18-hole putting course that is now caused the greatest green ever played, which is cool. And it's awesome. I mean, coming up those tee boxes where you got the Polynesian, you can see the smoke rising from Ohana through the rafters of the great ceremonial house as you're doing it.
I forget what hole we were on, and I had a bad score, and I'm like, this is horrible. And then I hear the horn, the whistle of the train, and it reminds me, it's not that bad.
How bad can it be?
Not that bad at all when you're playing golf and you can, hear music from the parade or the whistle from the train. And
I wonder if I'm too laid back. When I played Pebble Beach, my caddy was like, he's like, hey, what tees are you going to play from? I'm like, well, I guess I'll play from the tips. And he's like, why? Are you any good? And I'm like, well, no. He's like, you just play from regular, you'll have fun. And he's like, where's your scorecard? I'm like, all right, well, I'm not going to keep score. He's like, why? Are you coming back tomorrow? I'm like, no. He's like, people are going to ask what you shot. You're going to have to come. But then he did go into like tour guide mode and was like, oh, that's E.F. Hutton's house. And Bing Crosby lived there. And it was a lot of fun. It was cool. So you've got, Oak, Magnolia, and Palm are all 18-hole courses. And then Oak Trail is a 9-hole walking course. That's kind of tucked. You kind of see some of the other courses you're going through.
It's tucked into, is it Magnolia it's tucked into?
I think so. And it's cool. My son Seamus and I played there earlier this year, but I really wanted, they have robot caddies.
Yeah, they were out of them the day we went to.
They wouldn't let it was too wet the day we played, but literally you put your bags on this robot and it just follows you around the entire time, like as if by robotic magic, which is exactly what it is. Yeah. And that's cool.
It's cool golf course because if you only got like a half a day, or like when we went down, we drove down and played 9 holes and then went to dinner. It's cool, quick 9 holes, you get a little golf in while you're down there.
Yeah, and it's kept just as well as the other courses.
Yeah, it's very nice.
And then
2 long par 5s on it. I do remember that.
And then Karen, if you're not a golfer, they do foot golf, and that starts, I think, in the afternoons, like 4 or something, or 3:30. Yep. And so we were the last tee time before foot golf, so we got to see some folks playing it, and I guess I'm gonna have to do it. I mean, it looks like it's actually kind of might be fun. Yeah. And so you tee off. The holes are like, if they're shorter, it's not as long as a regular golf course, but the holes are ginormous. And like Andrew said, I wanted to aim for them the entire time. It would have improved my score.
It's like a child's swimming pool, like those little blue swimming pools. That's how big the hole is.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that looked like a blast. And I'm no soccer player, but it looked like a lot of fun and a good walk. Yeah. So pretty cool. And then so as we said, Lake Buena Vista winds through the other resorts. Shades of Green is right in the middle, in between, nestled right in between Palm and Magnolia. And I've never stayed there. I've got a buddy, retired Marine, who has said at some point in time we'll go. So I do want to see it, just because, I mean, it opened in 71 as a clubhouse, right? It was the clubhouse, and then they added on to, I think in 73, they added more rooms to make it into a resort. And it was supposed to be just for golf, like literally their golf resort. I think I read somewhere like a 65%, 67% occupancy rate. And it was small, right? They kind of called the rustic charm of a quiet inn. Bright and airy in style, and each area of the guest room had a pale green paint, along with a chandelier and a pull-out couch. It looks pretty 70s.
Yeah.
And then in the 90s, the Army actually had decided they wanted to build a new resort, and somewhere in the continental United States. And they put out a vote, and the troops apparently pretty loudly said they'd like to go to Orlando. So after Desert Storm, they advertised in the Orlando Sentinel, and I think a bunch of people responded, but Disney was the one they chose. So they'd called it the Disney Inn by then, and they changed it to Shades of Green, which is a reference to the different color green uniforms that were worn in apparently all four branches of the military. And if I'm wrong about that, please someone correct me. But they leased it, and then the DoD bought it. It was so big, it was so popular, and it was working so well. So then I think in '96 they actually bought it outright, but Disney still owns the land. It was Shades of Green was the name because and Disney wanted something that suited all of them. So they shut it down in 2002 for 2 years and added 300 more rooms, well, 298 rooms to the resort. And during that time, everybody who was in the military got to stay at Contemporary for the same price. So I think the military, I think it's awesome. The only complaint I have about it is the last time we went over there, I didn't take my ID with me because I didn't think I'd need it. And you cannot get in those gates without your ID, because it's literally run by the military. I wish I'd known that. And to be fair, it was at the bottom of my golf reservation. So Caleb, look, I was worried that no one would want to listen to this, but Caleb says from middle school to high school, his grandfather's Gary Player. I mean, that's pretty awesome. That guy's a legend. Little golf, little Disney everywhere. Yeah, and Karen, I mean, I want to stay everywhere. Like, I just want to say at some point in time that I've stayed at all the resorts. So even if I don't love it, although looking at some of the tee boxes, what the views are going to look like, I mean, I think it would be a lot of fun. Yeah, so now, and you have to be in the military, have been in the military. I mean, I forget what the requirements are, but not everybody can get a room there, and I think that's cool. I think that it's neat that Disney's carved out something for our military, and they get something special, as they should. My brother-in-law is also, he's on the Ike, he's active duty, so we could go with him as well. But I do want to see it.
Like I said, I've been by it, but of course, never been in it. I've got a gentleman that's a retired Air Force. He's stayed in a couple of times, and he said, "Yeah, it's pretty much a military room and does its purpose." And they go to the parks, and glad they have it to use it. But
yeah, and that
hard now to get a room there.
Yeah, I'm with you, Karen. It's the whole reason that I scrimp and save and don't eat for weeks at a time, so that I can be fully immersed in Disney. And look, even if that's All-Star, I'm totally good with that.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool. I like little details. If you go over to the YouTube channel and watch some of the golf videos, like for the 50th, they had inserts inside the cup where around it said,
Oh, the rim of the cup. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. And then even when there's not, last time I played Lake Buena Vista, they had Donald or Goofy inside there, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, they usually have the name of the course and then two characters on the inside the rim, if I remember correctly.
And they call it happiest place on turf. Clever. The only complaint I have, and it's not a big one,
No cart goal.
is, huh?
No cart goal in the 9-hole course.
No, I'm good with that. I'm because look, I got a cooler full of Gatorade and I'm happy. The only thing that bothers me is that they don't have enough merch for the specific courses.
And there's no merch. And one thing that I never understood: there's no merch in the world of Disney.
Not from the courses. You have to go over there to get them, right?
You have to go to the courses to get it.
But a lot of that merch, I mean, they have more, but it's still very bland. Like I'm wearing, I don't know if you can see it or not because of my name tag. So
Yeah,
I bought this. This is an Oakley shirt and it's great, but I wanted one that said Magnolia. I want one that says, we talked about collecting last week. I collect golf shirts from every place that I've played. So I don't want to, and golf balls. I have one of those wall racks from everywhere I've played, but I want a shirt that says Magnolia or Lake Buena Vista, they have cool logos.
Yeah, they had hats is mostly what they got.
Yep. They had hats. And when I was in there last time, they had one shirt that said Magnolia and the material was really heavy, like really crazy heavy. So it wasn't something I wanted. And I always think when we live, for our trip, if you haven't watched the Kraft presents Disney's 10th anniversary, and Dean Jones sings a song, Disney World or Bust, but there's a line, I want to be active and work on my game. And so I always think about that when I go down there. I'm going to be active and work on my game. And then I think he and Ricky Schroeder end up on the golf course at some
Yes,
point
they do. Yes, they do.
So Magnolia's renovated. Oak Trail's a 9-hole. So Lake Buena Vista was in 72, which is interesting. And Magnolia is a true like tour style layout. It's a great course. I think they're very difficult, but very playable, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they are. They're challenging.
Yeah. I mean, I actually lately have been playing my brother-in-law. We've moved up a tee, which is nice. So I can actually have a birdie opportunity because I just don't come off the tee very long. I have no lower weight right now. I need a lesson is what I need. But we love it. And I didn't play like the first several years we went because it just takes up so much time, So now when we go down, I try to find a day. And now that Seamus plays, my son plays, now I have a reason like, oh, baby, I want to go with you and do that. But I can't go to the outlets. I got to go play golf with the kid, which she doesn't really go. It's fine. But we try to do like a really early tee time, like first tee time of the day if we can, just so we get off. Plus it's hot. We're going in June this year. Yeah. So going early is pretty awesome. I wish they still had a PGA event. That would be fun to go check out.
So if you're like my girls that don't play golf, the mini golf is where they like to go.
There you go. And there are 2.
And yes, 3 actually. Well, 2 at 1. You got Fantasia and you got Fantasia Gardens.
Are there 2 courses at Winter Summerland?
Yeah, you had the summer course and the winter course.
Right.
So there's 4 then.
Yep. Have you played all of them?
Yes. My youngest loves the Christmas courses, of course.
Yeah, it's cool.
But the Fantasia Garden one, it's like playing a golf course. You got, sand and water and undulation, and it makes it a little difficult. But it's pretty cool. But, if she's picking, we're going to Winter Summerland. My oldest like Fantasia Gardens, but on the kids' side. But, they have music playing. It's all well-themed. We went one year at Christmas, so it was kind of cool to play mini golf at Christmas, and you got to get there when they open because it'll back up quick, and you do get an AP discount if you're an AP.
Mm-hmm.
At the golf course too, you get a little bit of AP if you're an AP, if you're, I know I have you have the credit pass, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't know this till I got there. Um, I think they still do it, but you get one round of golf free at the walking course with your
Oh,
AP.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you can do some kind of add-on if you're a local, if you're for the Florida Pass, where you can play the walking course and get the range. Like,
I think you have to have both of them have to have the water park and more option.
right. And that adds
Yeah.
on, but then you can go play Oak Trail and hit the driving range for free, which
Yeah.
is
For
that's
free.
nice.
Right. Okay. So I'm
I
in.
mean, anything's free is good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, so there's 4 courses, and winter and summerland are all definitely putt courses. Like, and then at Fantasia, one is a absolute putt, and it's right by the
Yeah.
Swan Reserve.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then the other one, it's like legit real golf
It's like
putting.
it's like the new pop stroke deal that Tiger Woods
Yeah,
came out with. It's exactly like that.
where is that? Have you been to one?
They got one in Myrtle Beach.
Mm.
I haven't been to it yet. We've been talking about going up there. It's only a 2 hour ride for us, but a couple friends from work went. They liked it a lot. But
Really?
yeah, just like Fantasia, it's sand and water and all that stuff.
I wonder what the franchise fee is for that, because we could put one here because we don't get cold. Well, I mean, we do get cold winters, but I mean, I guess that's a topic for another show. Is there no shade at Fantasia? You might be right. I can't remember. It's been a long time. We used
There's
to.
shade. No, there's shade. There's no
Is
shade at Summerlin.
I can't remember. Um, we've only played them. If I'll be very frank, mini golf brings out the worst in my family. Um, we have had some pretty embarrassing moments on a putt course with my kids. I don't know why. They usually get along great, and we people are always like, "Oh, your kids are so well behaved. Oh, your kids are so nice." And I think we've come just shy of being asked to leave. I mean, it ends in crying and aggravation and me yelling at somebody. I don't know why putt brings out this weird competitive edge in my family. Nothing else does. But man, these kids, they are, it is some serious, it's not fun, honestly. But I don't remember the courses that well. We used to get them for free. We used to get like, through MEI Mouse Van Trannel. If you need a free, no obligation quote, uh, please go to butmostlydisney.com and click the button. But, they would give a little coupon book that
Mm-hmm.
always came with some free rounds. And so we would go take them up. Because when we do travel, we try to do park day off as much as we can. So we like to build in some stuff. Yeah, Caleb, how does that Instagram look? Because I'm looking at it. So I've been pushing this out to Instagram as well. But it looks like where I see it, it looks just like you can see the middle of our thing. So I can't tell what it looks like at all. It might be horrible. But again, you know, what are you gonna do? You get what you pay for. So yeah, so you've got a lot of options. You don't have to see. I wish that we could just have fun. And I'm with you. No
Yeah.
scores. Just have a good time. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the theming.
You can take lessons down there too. They do offer lessons.
Yeah, and rental clubs, so you don't have to bring yours. Though
Yep.
I
I
hate
bring
playing.
mine.
Yeah, I hate playing golf with somebody else's clubs. And when we go, well, this year will be different, but normally we go from Virginia to Disney, Disney to Key West to the Smoky Mountains, and then back home. And I play golf in all 3 places, so it it works out all right. Now, I have not played at the Four Seasons yet, but it's interesting. I just looked it up because I was wondering if you had to stay there to play, and the cheapest room was $1,200 a night when I looked. So that might count me out unless we get some kind of sponsor for the podcast.
Hmm.
But I think you can play there in the summer, and it's only like $175. So the summertime is their low season, where, you know, wintertime, I think it's pushing 300. God bless them when you can get that. No, I have not done foot golf, but I'm going to. Maybe I'll do it this year because we're going to be. Well, we're staying at Old Key West in June, but maybe I'll get the kids out and we'll all go do it and do a video on that because I'd like to try it. Have you done it, Matthew? Um,
It's got to be back playing kickball. That's all I can
right.
think of. Yeah.
And it seems like anybody could do it. It looks fun and then probably frustrating. And then my kids will hate each other and we'll fight over that just as much as we do over putt putt. But I mean, these are world class courses, in my opinion. I mean, they're as nice as
Oh, yeah.
anything else I've played. And Lake Buena Vista, man, there, I think it's 18 where you've got boats going by. I mean, the whole time, little horns and bells. Yeah, maybe we do a meetup.
Yeah. Hey, all right.
Maybe we do a foot golf meetup. If there was only someone who would help me plan that. I just did that to be like Lou. There's no one over there. But yeah, maybe we could that would be really fun. I'm trying to figure out.
Foot golf, regular golf, combined score per team.
Ooh. Now that would be a fun tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could play the foot golf, play the real golf, and then turn it around, or maybe have it all going at once and make it really dangerous. Take out your opponents, or you got to do both at once. You got to tee off, then kick, then kick, then tee off. But that would be pretty cool. But I mean, it's great golf, and you know, I think we've changed a lot. Yes, this is true. If you're not going to end up throwing your golf clubs, which I swear I've never done. I did lose a 7-iron in a bartender's tournament in Jacksonville one time, but it was raining. I just moved there. I was actually going to dive in and get it, and they stopped me because of alligators. I just moved to Florida. I hadn't thought about it. But I didn't really throw it. I wasn't out of anger. It was just literally pouring down rain, and they didn't stop the tournament for anything. You played straight through. It was ugly. What I remember of it. But I mean, you know, I think when it was put together, you know, after it wasn't going to be a city anymore, you know, it was truly going to be a resort. And or you could, you know, or yeah, he said you could throw your shoes. True. Or I guess you could just pick up the ball and start beaming people with it, which is probably what my kids would do. And I'm not trying to sell out my kids. I mean, they're great kids. I love them. It's just that apparently competition makes them horrible. But you know, that was what you did on a vacation, right? And especially when it was just the Magic Kingdom. You know, maybe you go to Magic Kingdom 2 days and then you know, stay at the resorts and enjoy what goes, you know, because that's the thing now. I almost could go down there and not go to the parks. Like there's enough to do. Disney Springs is a full day. You know, I hate to go outside the bubble, but there is other stuff in Orlando you could do. So, you know, to come and stop and stay for a week and have a day of golf for your family. Yeah, it's the way it was designed. Have a pool day, you know. I love it. Now we race in and out, but I don't think they're hurting for business. I think a lot of folks are still playing these courses because tee times are definitely booked up.
Booked up. I do know I saw today, squirrel moment, the Grand Fiesta Tour was down the stairs, over the bridge, to ride that. So you're not hurting for people.
Wow. And that's just for
3 caballeros.
Some minor renovations. I mean, they changed the screens, right?
That's what I heard, yeah. But same ride, same everything, a little bit of AC, and it's a 2-hour wait.
So just looking at Magnolia is $200 at 10:40 in the morning.
It's not bad. That's average.
Lake Buena Vista is $187, and the Palm Course is $186. So Magnolia is the most expensive out of those three, and that's if you wanted to play on the 27th of March.
And I will say, being that I'm down here in Charleston, where, you know, golf mecca, we have Kiowa and everything, when I'm there, that reminds me of playing at Kiowa. Just the people, the layout, the way the courses are, the manicure of them, everything. It just reminds me of a Kiowa resort, high end golf resort.
And it is. I mean, $200 is no slouch for a round of golf,
Yeah,
right?
but you can go to Sawgrass and pay $6.95 a person if you want. So
I can't
it's not
believe
that
that's
bad.
so when I played Pebble Beach, it was 500 plus your caddy. So a couple $100 to tip him, and it was worth every penny. I would do it again. I can't afford it, but I would do it again. Sawgrass at $6.95. That might price me out. I played Sawgrass. I played there when I lived down there for free. We had a liquor rep took us out, and it was awesome. Wow, that's a lot of money for that course.
Pinehurst is about to say. I had a friend that worked at Pinehurst, and he was a chef, and he was able to get out there for a lot cheaper, but it was north of $600 to play there.
Yeah, my boy Steve coming in. It's almost look. His name is Almost Golf. Steve works with me at the Norva, and he's a golfer and an avid Star Wars fan.
Hey, I like him.
So I've played. I played Doral, and that's a crazy. My lunch was more expensive than my round of golf there.
Wow.
Because we were sitting in Virginia Beach at the bar, and me and a buddy and my attorney were going down to Key West for a week. And this is like in 1998, maybe. It was after I'd lived there. And so this girl was sitting at the bar. I was talking to her, and her friend was like, "Oh, you're going down to Key West? I work at a golf course in Miami." I'm like, "Okay, you should come up." All right. You ever heard of Doral? Hey, what's your name? You know? And so she got us on for $15, friends and family rate. We each paid $15 to play Doral. And it was right before the tournament, and it was the hardest golf I've ever played in my entire life. Like the rough was it's not even the same game. Like you watch what these guys do, like coming out of the rough or hitting, and they're not even playing it. It's a totally different game. They set those courses up so differently. It was impossible. It was a blast, but it was so hard, so hard. And I love Pebble Beach. I played Sawgrass. There's somewhere else I played. It was pretty good. Oh, what was a great value was Bay Hill.
Really?
Yeah, like 3 years ago, coming back from Key West, we stopped in there. We stayed 2 nights at Bay Hill. It's a very cool, older resort. It's really neat. You have to take your hat off inside. I mean, it's the way Arnold Palmer wanted things, right? And then we played a round of golf, and it wasn't free, but it wasn't outrageous. And that was a difficult course as well. But that was really cool. I really enjoyed that. In Florida, there's so many great courses because things, especially compared to where we are, because the grass grows. Here, depending on how much you're paying, you may be hitting off dirt. It can be tough in the winter around here. But I do love golf.
Oh, I do too. Play as much as I can when I can, and then luckily for me, we get to play year round. So we do get some weekends where we're like, I think we're going to pass because it's 40 degrees. But
right, I try to play 50 and above, and it definitely gets cold here. And we went out. My brother-in-law went out, and my hands were free. It's like surfing. I liked surfing when I was a kid. I was never good at it. I went one time down to the Outer Banks and went in a wetsuit, and it was amazing. And I'm like, wow, I'm never going to do that again. It's horrible. It was so cold and just not worth it. And golf's kind of the same way for me. Well, hey, look, I mean, I think that was pretty good for Andrew and I get to talk about golf without making anybody angry. Everybody still seems like they're having a good time. And that's the cool thing. So you've got foot golf, you've got real golf, you've got putt-putt. I mean, you can really run the gambit of what Disney has to offer there, which is kind of fun.
Yep, a little bit for everybody.
Anything else going on with you, man?
No, not really. Just trying to find time to edit videos.
I know it's tough. I am going to put up Thursday, maybe. I recorded all of Happily Ever After.
Oh, cool.
And and I'm just off to the right. And I know there's a million videos of it up there, but I filmed it because I don't know why I literally have the whole show, and then I'm like, well, no one's gonna want to watch this, and then I watched it today and got a little teary. So I was like, well, maybe I'll put it up in case somebody wants it. But
I got a Skipper Canteen video I'm gonna put up. So
I love that restaurant.
I love going there. So hopefully that'll be up Thursday or Friday.
We're gonna do Cinderella's Royal Table this year. We haven't done that in a few years.
Last time we went there, the food was very good. You go for the show, but the food was pretty good.
I've always had good food there every single time. And I'll tell you what, not to make a long show longer, but I think, and there's a lot that I think Disney has given my kids, but one of the things I think that they got out of going to Disney is how to behave in a restaurant. Mm-hmm. And I tell you, those waiters, I remember the first time we went to Cinderella's Royal Table, and I'm watching these guys pirouette over flying goldfish and toys, and they're doing it with aplomb, and they got a smile on their face, because I guess gratuities included probably, but I mean, they did a really nice job. And my kids learned that, you sit in your seat, you got to do some stuff, and that's how it works. And so, and we had 3 of them. Nobody wanted to watch our kids. It's a lot. A babysitter was expensive. So if we wanted to go to dinner, most of the time our kids were coming with us.
Yep. That's exactly right.
I had a lamb shank there in 2009 that I'm still thinking about. I mean, it was delicious. But my mom and I just went on a trip. She came down with me last month, and then she's coming with us for part of the trip with the whole family. So she's never done it. So I think we're going to get back in there, but that means I don't get to go to Skipper Canteen, which I really like. And we got to sit in that cool butterfly table last time we were there. That was awesome.
We sat right outside the jungle room this last time.
At the front or the back?
The back.
Yeah. It's better in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's the way to go.
That's loud.
Yeah, that's the key. Although there's a lot of cool theming out front.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's not a lot of restaurants I don't like. Although my mom said she wanted to go back to Liberty Tree Tavern. And while I loved it, so much food. I was telling her that today on the phone because I talk to my mom every morning. I was like, man, I kind of felt bad leaving there because we ate nothing. I mean, we left so much food on that table.
You're full and you still got plenty of food on the table.
Right. Next time, if we take Seamus, then he can.
The grown boy, he'll eat it.
Yeah, he'll eat plenty. He works out enough that he could put that food down. Cool. I mean, that's all I got. Yeah. I just put up a video of recycling the magic, but we can talk a little bit about that next week, maybe. Or did we talked about it last week, didn't we?
We had a moose.
I'm not sure if we did. Well,
I don't think we did.
It's north of Orlando, about 15 minutes north of Disney. I would recommend going. It's really cool. But check out that video, and then we can discuss amongst ourselves next week. It's not a great video because I was too shy to talk in the store. So I filmed and then did a voiceover, which I don't think ever comes out great, but it was an experiment. So that's up on But Mostly Disney. Guys, this is episode 25 of this show. That's pretty incredible. And thanks. It's a really cool looking shop, man. You don't have to buy anything. I mean, just to go and look at what they've got in there, it's like a museum. And so is Forever Vintage. Forever Vintage had more. Well, we'll discuss it next week. Leave something. Leave them wanting more, right? A little teaser. And then, if you guys are traveling or know anybody that's traveling that needs a travel planner, man, give me a call. Even if you don't use me, I'm happy to answer questions. And if you go to butmostlydisney.com, there is a button on there down at the bottom of the page where you'll get to my page and then can reach out, or you can just DM me on any social media at But Mostly Disney. And I think that's it.
That's all, folks.
Not a bad show for some golfers.
Duffers.
I get a lot of views on those golf videos. People actually watch those. In fact, I think on YouTube, my longest evergreen video is a Jones golf bag review. And I haven't looked in a while, but it used to be if you search Jones Trooper bag, my video was what popped up because nobody else had done it, which is fun. It's not really bragging, but it's just saying.
Sounds like it.
All right, cool. I think we're good. Another Tuesday next week, so that's good.
Yep,
We're
all
being
good.
consistent. And if you need anything in the meantime, I can do anything for you. Please reach out, Karen and Jacob. I'm going to the mail the mailbox tomorrow. I'm sorry, I haven't mailed anything. I keep forgetting to take it with me, and then I don't get home till late. So keep an eye on your front stoop. Check out Mouse Gears.
Yes.
Take a look at that. I still want to get some more car videos on there. I saw you were sharing some stuff this week.
Yeah, I gotta get some. I'm just about ready to fire up the restoration project we got going on, and I don't really want to take a video of that till I'm done, but there'll be some of that. We have a race we're going to in April, at the end of April in Charlotte.
Oh,
and
nice.
My brother's racing, so I'll be documenting that and sharing it. So that'll be the other side of my passion besides golf and Disney is cars. So you'll see that come up soon.
I can't wait. And hang around. We got some pretty cool guests coming up on the show. That kind of exciting, a little nerve wracking too. So, but I'll make sure that's confirmed before I speak it out of existence. So, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys listening and watching. It means the world to me. I sometimes don't have the motivation to get in here, and I think, well, no, I can't miss Karen and Caleb. They're going to be here every week, and I don't want to live without them. So I appreciate you guys. Steve, I'm sure you're gone, but thanks for stopping by. Matthew, I appreciate it. You're welcome to go back and watch if you want, but I really appreciate it. Andrew does, I'm sure does too. I'm not just speaking for
you,
but
I appreciate it. I look forward to this.
I need to change your name so it says Mouse Gears and but mostly Disney because it makes it sound like you're from somewhere else. So, all right, guys, have a great week. Thanks so much, and see you real soon.
Have a good night. See you.